Next on the list of operators is the assignment one. So if we click on the assignment operator, and what does it say? It says the basic assignment operator is equal symbol. Your first inclination might be to think of this as equal to. Don't. It really means that the left operand gets set to the value of the expression on the right. That is, gets set to. Let's quickly have a look at all this in the editor. So in our index.php page, let's create the variable a and assign the value of 1 to it. So basically the single equal symbol means that 1 now gets assigned to the variable a on the left. So basically the value on the right hand side gets assigned to the entity on the left hand side basically. And now if we echo this, obviously we are going to get 1 in the browser. So if we go back to the browser, refresh the page, and fair enough, we've got 1. Now if we go back to the editor and we try another example, so what else can we do with this? Let's say we have variable b, which will equal, and in the brackets we are going to have c equals 3 plus 5, let's say. And what does this do actually? This sets, here in the brackets, sets the value of 3 for the c variable. So rather than having this before b, let's say on the new line like c equals 3, we can set them within the expression as well. So now we're setting variable c with the value of 3, and then we are adding 5 to it. So basically we're gonna get 8 for the b variable. So let's quickly echo b and then comma c, because obviously echo allows us to echo to output multiple variables together. So if we save it and if we preview everything in the browser, refresh the page, there we go. The first one was 8, and obviously c within the expression has been set to 3 as well. So if we go back, so that's how we set variables. Let's now have a look at the way we assigned values to the arrays. As you may remember, if we create a new array, let's say posts equals, and then we have either array like this or square brackets. If you are using PHP 5.4, you can use either of those, but obviously square brackets are only available as of version 5.4 of PHP. And now we assigning, let's say to index 1, we are assigning value of, say, home. This is the way we are assigning values inside of the array, basically using this equal and greater than symbol. So that's basically the assignment for arrays. There are also combined operators, and what does it mean? Let's quickly have a look at another example. A equals 5, for instance, and now if I would like to add another 5 to this a, what I can do is basically use a and then plus equals 5. What does it do? It's exactly the same as if we were to type a equals a plus 5. So rather than having this as long as this, you can basically use the plus symbol and then equal. That means use the previous a variable and then add to it the number on the right hand side. So it's exactly the same as this. So that goes for the addition basically. If we now echo this a variable, save it and preview it in a browser, refresh the page, there we go, 5 plus 5 is 10. So if we go back to the editor, let's try now subtracting. If we subtract 5 from 5, obviously this should give us null, and there we go. Then we can also multiply the same way, so we can multiply 5 times 5. If we go back to the browser, refresh, there we go, 25. The same goes for the division. If we divide it 5 by 5, we get 1. So just to recap, basically this is exactly the same. It's the equivalent of a equals a divided by 5. So this is exactly the same, basically, but a little bit shorter than obviously writing all this way. We obviously losing one of the entities here. Rather than typing this again, you just move this division symbol or multiplying plus or minus and just do it this way. So that's how we can do basically use these operators as well. But there's another combined operator which you probably already saw as well in the previous videos when we are combining strings. So let's say we have hello in between single double quotes to indicate that it's a string. And then what we do is a full stop equals, and let's say now I'm going to add something else, hello Sebastian, for instance. And there we go. Obviously, I don't need the space at the beginning here because I've got space at the end. So we're going to have space between hello and the name. And this is how you basically concatenate it as well. So it's exactly the same as we did with a minute ago with this plus, minus, multiplied and dividing basically. It's just concatenating the string. So it takes A. It's exactly the same again as if we were doing A equals A and then concatenating with Sebastian. So it's exactly the same way. But again, shorthand for doing this. So if we now echo this A variable and see what we have in the browser, there we go. That's how it works. Another example I'd like to show you is the assignment by reference. If we now remove all this and start with the A variable equals 5, say, and then B variable equals, and now and symbol, and our A variable, and then C variable, and symbol, and our B variable. Now, what's going to happen here, basically? We did touch a little bit on the reference when we were talking about arrays. Some of them, they take array, basically functions which were dealing with arrays. Some of them were taking the value, the parameter, the argument we were passing through as a reference. What it means, basically, it did affect whatever we did with the value that's been passed as an argument, and it's been passed as a reference. Whatever we did to the value associated with this variable, it did reflect outside of the function. Basically, the changes were reflected outside of the function. But let's quickly have a look at what's going to happen here. So we echo A, then we're going to echo, let's create a new line so that it's cleared out what we are looking actually at. Then we're going to have a B, then echo again BR for the new line, and then echo C. If you now save it all and refresh the browser, we get 5, 5, and 5. And it's because we obviously associated the value associated with A with the B variable. Then we assigned the same value, because obviously B now has the same value as A. We associated with C. So all of them, they have 5. Now what's going to happen if I change the value associated with A? So after all this, I'm going to redefine the A variable, and this time I'm going to say I want this A variable to have a value of 7. And let's copy this entire block so we actually can see the difference. But what I'm going to do is create another break here, another new line. If we now paste it underneath and save it and obviously refresh the browser, there we go. I only changed A, but because it was copied as a reference, all of these values have its value change. So basically, whenever you're using and symbol before the variable, if the original one changes its value, it will affect all of them basically. So as you can see, we only changed the value of A variable, but because they were copied by reference, B and C also took that change basically. So that's how you are assigning by reference.